Hello. What happens when you take two very passionate and opinionated ladies and you mix in OU sports? What do you get? You get Talk Sporty. And today we have a special edition of Talk Sporty. This is Moms Talk
Moms
Sporty.
Talk Sporty.
Yay!
Yeah.
We've got a super duper mom on today. Her name is Kari Branch. That's Kari with a K. And she has a son that helped OU's baseball team win a national championship. Is that
Yeah.
not awesome?
We get the best
Yeah.
moms, don't we, Dana?
We do. We get the best mom.
I know it's only our second Moms Talk Sporty, but still, we have great
We've
moms.
got the best.
We have great moms.
Yeah.
So welcome, Kari. How are
Thank
you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
So glad you agreed to do our little
course.
podcast.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Especially
course.
since you live just up the road from me.
Yes, exactly.
So that's
Fellow
fun.
Texan.
Yes.
Well,
For
tell
sure.
us where you do live. For our listeners out there that don't know where the Branch family resides, what
Yeah.
town in Texas are you from?
We live in Lucas, which is just east of Allen. It all kind of bleeds together, especially up
Okay.
in this area. There's shopping and community all throughout Allen.
What size town is Lucas or school, I guess?
School.
Are they
When the
2A,
schools
3A,
love
4A?
joy.
I'm sorry. They're a 5A.
Oh, the schools love
Schools
joy.
love
Oh,
joy.
Schools love
goodness.
joy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is it a
So
big school?
it's a 5A school, 5A
Okay.
Division 2, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So, relatively big, yeah. Most of Rusty graduated from Allen, and so we lived in Allen for quite a while, and our boys were raised up in Allen, all four born in Allen.
Okay.
And but then in 2015, we moved out to Lovejoy, thinking, okay, if our boys want to play sports and more than one sport, then
It'll be a
Lovejoy's
little
probably a better
smaller.
situation. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Because Allen was growing and growing,
Right.
and
Yes.
football was huge, and Kyler
Uh-huh.
Murray came from
Yeah.
that vintage too. So,
Yes.
and the big stadium had just been built, and we just kind of were thinking that'd probably be best if we
Mhm.
moved out a little farther. So, because I mean, if you look at Rusty, we're like kind of unassuming. We're not of a tall stature, and we didn't perceive that our boys were going to be, growing
Elite
into
athletes?
Well,
a big
yes.
6'5", 220 body or
right,
anything like
right.
that. Yeah. So,
Tell us,
but-
when did you
so-
start to realize, hey, my boys, well, I guess you could start with, you've got four boys.
Yes.
You want to give us the rundown of the kids?
Sure.
We have one
Kolby-
favorite, but he's a Sooner.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
He
we
wears
like your other
crimson and
boys, too.
cream.
I
He wears
know.
crimson and cream, so we're
What's
partial
funny
to
is,
that.
I know they've all grown up being Sooners and
Oh, yeah?
Sooner fans.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the story is kind of that Rusty went to Allen here, and then he went to OBU to play tennis. He was a tennis player, a really great tennis player.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so
great.
then he got injured, and then he
Okay.
started selling books door to door. And that became like his, with the Southwestern Company, they're out of Nashville.
Okay.
And he likes to say sometimes that was his Vietnam. That was how he grew up. And so he started
Okay.
recruiting
Sure.
kids to do the same thing, because he
Okay.
would work in the summers and pay for his tuition
Mhm.
for throughout his whole
Yeah.
college
the
year.
Private
And then he
school
would go
tuition?
the next summer. Yes. But
Okay.
then he would he started recruiting kids to be on his team. And so he would go down around to different colleges and campuses. So he would go to OU and OSU, and I think he went to KU and traveled to ACU and
Okay.
Waco to Baylor.
Right.
Anyway, he would recruit college kids to
Okay.
go do the same thing that he did door to door. And anyway, it builds a lot of character
Sure.
in kids. So
Definitely.
anyway, so that's how he got to enjoy Oklahoma, met some great people in Oklahoma,
Okay.
and became a Sooner fan. And so Oklahoma football has always been big. We've always, I have a picture of Kolby, our oldest, whenever they lost to OU, or they lost to Texas. And my Rusty's dad was a Texas fan. Rusty's
Yes.
an OU
Okay.
fan, and
Uh-huh.
he was Kolby. We have a picture of Kolby on Jimmy's shoulder, just crying because OU had
Oh,
lost.
His team
So
lost.
it was
Oh,
he was probably 5, I don't know, but he
sweet
was just so upset. Yes,
boy.
I know, just
Oh.
crying, boo-hooing. But
Okay,
he'll probably
so
kill me for that. But
so your blood
anyway,
runs crimson anyway, or the
yes,
family.
exactly.
Yes,
And
The
it
so
family has
yeah,
some of
does.
that
yeah,
anyway.
yes, and then
Okay.
so Colby's 23 now. Kyle's 21. Carson is 18, and Cooper is 15.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
And so
So, I
yeah,
Carson's
mean,
getting ready to be a senior in high school, right?
yes. They just
And then
started last Wednesday.
is Cooper a freshman or
He's a
sophomore?
freshman this year. He's a
Freshman.
freshman
Okay.
this year.
All right. So the
Yeah.
1 year they're both going to be at school together.
Yes.
school
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. You were
Well,
going to ask
and
something, Dana?
I was just going to say Kyle and Kyle, who is our favorite, just based on his team.
Yeah.
He and Kolby had to play each other
Mm-hmm.
in the College
Mhm.
World Series because Kolby
Yes.
was there at Georgia. Now, did Kolby
Mhm.
spend all of his college time at Georgia? Is that
No, he
correct?
started off
He was
at
at Baylor,
Baylor.
right?
Oh, at
Yeah, he
Baylor.
started
I
at
didn't know that.
Baylor,
Okay.
and he got opportunity to play because we just said he wasn't highly recruited or anything. So
Oh, okay.
Um, so he was recruited by Baylor, and then he was excited about it. Went down there, gave it his all, had an opportunity to play, and he played, and did really well. And then he said, "I kind of want to go where there's more. It's more about baseball. Like the baseball is more exciting." And he said,
Oh, okay.
"Because my eventual goal is I want to try to be a major league baseball player."
Okay.
Um, but
Now, so this was while he's in college.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, if I can do that in the SEC, if I can make it in the SEC, then I feel
Right.
pretty sure that I could possibly go on to the next step. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just all been about like stacking bricks, as what I think that the boys in
Right.
Rusty call
Okay.
it. And it's just one thing at a time. So anyway, then he had a great year at Baylor and entered the transfer portal when it was just still kind of more, I don't know. I would say it was a little more icky back then, and now it's kind of
Okay.
like commonplace to say, "Oh, I'm going to the portal," and it's like, "Oh,
Right.
okay,
True.
have fun, see you later."
Sure.
Now,
It's almost
but
like
Right.
it's
but
expected, right? I mean, like
right,
at the end of the baseball season, Dana and I are looking, we're like, okay,
Who's going
who's
to
who,
left?
stay?
Yeah,
who's going to stay and who's going in the portal? Oh no,
yeah,
and we do
yeah,
that at the end of,
exactly.
football season too. So yeah.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that people would leave even after a winning season like they had, the
Right.
the best winning season
Mm-hmm.
ever, but
Yes.
I believe that they still do just because maybe certain didn't get an opportunity that they would
Mm-hmm.
want, and which is
Sure.
totally understandable
Yeah.
Right.
because they're all
Right.
good. If they've been recruited
Mm-hmm.
to a high level
Right.
school, they're all great players. So,
Yeah. I mean, the softball team has that every year, girls who
hmm
make contributions, but maybe aren't on the field quite as much as they know if they transfer, they're going to be on the field all the time.
yeah,
So
Right.
yeah,
yeah,
They'll be a
every year,
starter.
Coach Gasso has players who were like, they're entering the transfer portal. What? But I mean,
hmm
yeah. And I get it. So,
Uh huh. I
yeah,
do too. Yeah.
and especially if you
sure.
have dreams for the future. And hey, I know right now we're just talking about the Bulldog player, but I mean, he got drafted by our
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
hometown
yeah,
team. I
yeah.
mean, that's
I
fun.
know. How fun!
Tell
Yeah.
How
us, was
crazy
he
is that?
excited? I'm sure he was
Oh yeah.
excited. Do you get a phone call
Well,
or how does that work?
oh gosh. Okay, so after during the World Series, his agent called and said, "Hey, you've been selected if you would like to go to be part of the USA baseball team." And
Oh,
so
very cool
he
too.
had always dreamed of doing something like that, and so
Yeah.
but was never, like I said, never thought really in that realm of players or that upper echelon of players. But they said that they needed some leadership and some
Uh-huh.
older players to go. So he was like, absolutely, sign me up, But
Yes.
that led him to, after he got home from watching Kyle, he had like a day or two in Athens to pack up his stuff, put it in storage. Or wait, no, he didn't do that till later. My timeline's messed up, but he went
Oh, you
straight
guys have
from
had a busy summer. It's understandable.
yeah, it's been wild trying to keep up with
Yeah.
what state
A
they're
little bit
in,
of a
but
whirlwind.
Yeah, exactly. No, from there he went home to Athens and then straight, I think he packed up a bag and then went to North Carolina to work
Okay.
out in Cary, North Carolina with the USA baseball team. Then he was
Okay.
there for a little while of training, and then they went and played some games at, I think, Maryland.
Uh-huh.
And they had like a Stars and Stripes game over July 4th.
Okay.
They were just playing some local teams, and then
Mm-hmm.
they went off to Taiwan. And we had
Okay.
heard that it was going to be so cool. You should go because the team before, on last year's team, USA baseball team, they went to Japan. They said, parents
Mm-hmm.
were saying that it was awesome. Some of the parents that we know.
Right.
And so we went, and we were there for about, I think it was 7 days, 8 days. So we went with him and everything. And so that was a
Okay.
cool experience. But
Oh,
while we
Wow.
were
yeah.
there is when the draft happened. So it was a
Oh, so
night
he was
game.
over there when during the draft. Okay.
Yes. And so we're 12 hours, I think 12 or 13 hours ahead over there.
Uh-huh.
So it was already the next day.
Yeah.
I, I don't, it kind of
Days.
starts to get blurry. Yeah. Well, um, but so it was, he ended a game that night. They played one of the teams over there, and then right after the game, he went home, went to the apartment or the hotel, showered, and got an Uber and came over to our hotel. And we watched the draft on the computer. This was the day 2 of the draft because
Okay.
we knew he wasn't going to go first round, so we weren't worried about it that day.
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, so day 2 he came over, and by the time he got to our place, it was 11:30 at night there.
Uh-huh.
And at about 1:30 in the morning, he got the call from the Rangers and was so
Okay.
excited. We were like, "Yay!" I mean, it was just in our hotel room,
Oh, very
Oh,
Um,
that's
fun.
I know
awesome.
at
That's
least
so
we were
special.
together, but it was
Yeah.
kind of not the picture that you see, on,
Sure.
you know,
Right. Yeah.
all the party and all that. But
Uh-huh.
it
Yeah.
was what it was, and he was
Mm-hmm.
so ecstatic and happy for the opportunity. It's all
Yeah.
about opportunities, really, and what you do with
Sure.
them
Oh, right.
afterwards. So, after that, he just said, "Hey, I better go home and go get some sleep because I've got a game in the morning." So, on to the next thing. So,
Oh, goodness. Well, since he
yeah.
was playing with USA Baseball, will he have the opportunity to keep doing that, like on leading up into the Olympics,
Um.
or who knows?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think the Olympic
Okay.
team is usually made up of. I actually don't know. I think
Yeah, I
that's made
didn't
up
know
of
since the Olympics is in the summer, which is during Major League
pro
Baseball
players.
season.
Right.
So,
I
Yeah.
don't know
you
who
know,
makes it up. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't either.
I
Good question.
should have a clue, but I don't.
No, yeah, like we said,
Yeah.
you guys, it was a
This is your
big.
first experience, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's your
Yeah.
oldest.
That's right.
Plus, it was a big year, big summer in the Branch household.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, national
It's been wild.
championships, SEC championships,
Yeah.
yeah.
state
State
championships,
Texas championship.
It's been wild.
all
But a
the
lot of
things.
blessings. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
and all the boys, all the men, whatever, got accolades in all their,
Yeah.
with their various teams. So that's,
Mm-hmm.
and so how did
Yeah.
you guys
Very cool.
manage all the travel with that? Did you just divide and conquer? Did you just say, okay, we're going to be here, for the state championship, but, try whatever. How'd you guys do that?
How did mom and dad make all of that?
Yes.
Well, we didn't. We didn't make all of it, but like I have this is just like
Oh, gosh.
a calendar of I mean it's all to shreds right
Yeah,
now, but I was
sure.
looking back and I also had a spreadsheet on my computer about, like and I was going to print it and kind of show you guys, but
How crazy
um
it is.
cuz it was nuts. Well, just
Yeah.
because we have okay, this weekend and who's playing who and
Uh-huh.
where is that game and who's going to the game? Is it
Okay.
just me and Rusty, or is it all the boys, or is it some of the boys?
Uh-huh.
You know, who's going to Kyle's game? Who needs tickets for Kyle's game? Who needs tickets for Kolby's game? Where are we putting the dog? Are
Sure.
Carson and Kooper staying home? Does
Uh-huh.
Carson have a game? is Tina, my mother-in-law, going to be in town to watch the boys
To
or be
help.
here for an
Right.
emergency? Because
Yes.
we trusted my third boy, Carson, with a lot of mm, responsibility. And
Yeah.
he is a
Yeah.
great kid
Yeah.
and he's very
Sure.
responsible, and also Kooper too.
Mm-hmm.
They took on a lot of responsibility
Mm-hmm.
because
Uh-huh.
they were on their own a lot. Because the very first thing that we came up with some parameters, we said, okay, our first rule is let's stay together. So
Uh-huh.
Rusty and I were together. So whenever we
Okay.
traveled, we would be together. That was the first priority. The second priority was, okay, who's playing and where are they playing? Like if they are playing at a cool spot like Mississippi State that we hadn't been to before,
Mm-hmm.
or a really nice ballpark, we would kind of gauge it by that, at least during
Okay.
the regular season.
Right.
And then it was, just how are we going to do it? What are
Sure.
the logistics of being able to go? And thankfully,
Yeah.
Rusty's a company owner, so he's able to,
Oh, okay.
switch his schedule around or,
Mm-hmm.
take
Okay.
off at a
Very
moment's
So you
good.
notice.
have some
And um,
flexibility. Yeah.
yeah, and
Oh,
I'm a
that's nice.
stay-at-home mom with no kids at
Uh-huh.
home anymore, so I'm kind of flexible. So, but it was just really a lot of management stuff that
Sure.
and working out the logistics with each other and
Yeah.
trying not to be separated from each
Okay.
other.
Uh-huh.
But then we relied and leaned heavily on our people that were back here
Right.
in town and our
Yeah.
friends and being around just in case. And
Uh-huh. Well, so were you guys able to be at the state championship, or was that during the College World Series?
well,
Or in
in
between?
Yes.
in baseball, yeah, exactly. In baseball, there's this other factor called the weather. And
Oh,
so
yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't even okay, so I think that was the weekend of super regionals. Yes.
Okay.
So that was
Okay.
super regionals.
Okay.
So we had decided we were going to go to Kansas and go to Athens. So we were going to spend
Uh-huh.
maybe one day in Kansas and then go to Athens.
Okay.
And then we were thinking that Carson was going to make the tournament, the state tournament, but we weren't sure and we didn't know until
Right.
maybe, the weekend before.
Mm-hmm.
So we had already made our plans and they were kind
Yeah.
of set in stone and we
Uh-huh.
couldn't switch them. But anyway,
Sure.
so we had a hard leave time on I think Friday or Saturday morning
Uh-huh.
to leave from the McKinney airport. And so
Okay.
we drove down for whatever day the game was supposed to be on. I think it was supposed to be on Friday night on June 5th. And the weather kept raining. It kept raining. And they were the last game of the day at Round
Oh,
Rock. It
no.
kept raining, and we were driving down there and it was just pouring on us. And we were like,
Yes.
okay, we're going to go there and we're going to see if it's been postponed and see if they'll
Mm-hmm.
keep playing it tonight. We were hoping it would be pushed till, I don't know, the latest that they could go, I think with a start time of like 9 or 9:30.
Okay.
But
And if they don't start by then, they just cancel for that
yeah,
or
For that day.
postpone. Postpone. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And so
Okay.
that's what they did. So they
Okay.
did not play that day. They
Okay.
played. So basically, we drove 3 hours down there, found
Right.
out they
Oh
weren't
my
going to
goodness.
play, said hello to my dad, my brother. Yes, my
Yeah.
brother and my sister-in-law were there. They brought my dad down.
Okay.
We said hello to them, and then we got in the car and turned back around and went back to Dallas because we had those plans. And it
Right.
was, I mean, I cried probably
Oh, I'm
for a
sure.
good hour because I'm like, it's our first kid to what we felt was going to actually win the state championship.
Oh, yeah.
And it just it broke my
Oh.
heart to leave
It's
him,
hard. Yeah.
But were you
yeah.
able to watch it on online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That
And
helps,
so
right? That helps some.
yes. Yes. So we
Yeah.
were back home and watching it while okay, so we were watching I think Georgia's game, I think Colby's game on television that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, on that morning or midday.
Yeah.
And then so Carson's game was in the morning. They both were playing in the morning. I don't know. I think 11 o'clock. It's hard to
Of
remember. I'm so
course.
sorry.
Of course. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
You're
Hey.
fine.
So we had Carson's game on the iPad. We had the other TV on the Georgia
Uh-huh.
Super Regional game.
Right.
Don't remember who they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we watched, and we were watching both at the same time. Yay! And oh
Yes.
no! And oh yay! And then the game was over, and we were cheering, and I was crying because Carson won, and we weren't there,
Yeah.
and it broke my heart. And then I was watching the stuff go on afterwards, and they were announcing the MVP, and then they
Yeah.
called out Carson's name, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and then I cried some more, and
Of
then,
course.
and so I got it all out. So
Yeah, you got it all out until you guys got to Omaha.
Until Omaha.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
Omaha. Well, one of my go ahead, Dana.
I was just gonna say, was Carson able to come to Omaha? Was he finished at that point? So both
Yes.
boys, were they able to come see their brothers
Yes.
both play in the College World
Yes.
Series?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So he came home for a few days. I'm trying to look at the schedule. I think we left on Thursday the 11th. Yeah. So he was able to come home and spend a few days at home, and then we all packed up and went to Omaha. And then as soon as Omaha was over, Carson left on his own and went from Omaha straight to Atlanta because he had a tournament for his summer ball team to start with. So
yeah, because that summer baseball, they travel a bunch, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
So,
he had to miss one to go to the World Series too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he was, of course, glad to do it.
I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad he got to see that.
Yes.
I mean, wow, how cool to have.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be cool to have one brother, but to have 2 brothers playing in the College World Series,
right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, it was one of my favorite things from the College World Series outside of, OU actually winning was Kyle's excitement for Kolby's home run.
Oh, yes.
It was just so sweet, and how, they, met each other, kind of as he was rounding bases in the infield, and then how Kolby was just cheering for Kyle in the finals. It was just so touching and just so sweet to see that, brotherly connection and stuff.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah. If like I think I have some video of Kolby in I think it was in the 8th inning. He was on the field and he was, wiping his face, and I was like, that's not how he wipes the sweat off. He was already getting emotional. I mean,
sure, knowing it was his,
because he knew at that point
game.
it was it's probably not
He's
going
a
to
senior.
be.
That was going to be a hard deficit to overcome.
Right. Yeah. There you go. That's a good way to say it.
Yes.
And I know when Kolby went up to bat, his last at bat, we were all emotional anyway, but then I could see Kyle in the videos after. I didn't see it initially on, like, when they were way far away from us, but in the videos after, I can see that his nose is red. Kyle's nose. And so ever since he was little, like, he gets nose. He gets emotional. He gets that's when I know he's upset. And so he had turned around to face the outfield, and I was like, he's crying. He's upset. He's trying to get it together. Get it together, man.
Yeah.
Before he sees Kolby at
his last
bat. And yes. And so whenever he turned around, he was just like, you can see him take a big breath, like, and he can tell he's just trying to get it together. And then to see Kolby do that, he was just like, his emotions went from stressed and kind of sad to, oh my gosh, like, I can just see that. So it was such a good moment. And we didn't see that, of course, in the moment, but we were leaving, and Rusty told me, he said, Kari, you don't even know, but the thing of the day is Kyle's reaction. And I said, what do you mean? And he said the way he responded whenever Kolby hit the home run, he said it was incredible. He goes, wait till you see it. And, we saw it maybe the next day because there was just so much stuff going on at that point. But anyway, it was pretty
so
emotional.
Cool. The TV coverage was exceptional. And of course, they would show your whole family, your whole entourage in the stands, and then they would show both boys, and then that last home run. they caught it all in the moment. And I'm sure you've seen it
Yeah.
now, but I mean, I'm watching it live going, oh
Yeah.
wow. It was a great job the way they covered things. They
Yeah.
picked
Yeah.
up on it. I bet they had a
Mhm.
mom running the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been there, done that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great story. And I was out of the country, so I didn't even get to see any of those games. I'm just like following along, like,
Yeah.
I was 7 or 8 hours ahead. And so I'm just
Oh,
following
wow.
along when I can. But that was hitting my timeline. And I'm like, oh, I just
Mhm.
love this. This is so great. I mean, and you know
Yeah.
what? Even if it had been the other way, it would have been great, even if Georgia
Oh,
had
yeah.
been the
Mhm.
ones win. Because frankly, OU wasn't supposed to be
I
anywhere
know,
near there, right? I mean,
so crazy. And I kept saying, everybody was asking, well, how do you feel about all that? And how, the brothers playing each other. And I'm like, well, the big brother's supposed to win, right? He's
right.
the older
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
and this is
Sure.
his last
Exactly.
time. And so big
Mm-hmm.
brother's supposed to win, right?
Yeah.
Um, but not after. I mean, it's a team thing. So it's,
Right. Yes.
yeah, it was interesting. But after the second game, I was like, but the big brother's supposed to win.
Can't they just both win? Can't they
They
just
both
both
know.
win,
need to,
right?
yeah. Tie.
It was hard. It was hard to know. We were like we immediately just instinctively, I think, went straight to Kolby, like to console first, and then
Okay.
we
Well,
went and
yeah.
celebrated. It was
Yeah.
it
Well,
was a
because
weird
Kyle's
dynamic.
going to have more
We
games
didn't
to
know what to
play.
do. Yeah.
True, Sean. Kyle had more games to play. They've got another day. They've lived for another day,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's Colby's last bat. But
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
what's happened with him.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah.
USA and
It's all a
playing with the
blessing. Yeah.
Rangers, and yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the
Yeah.
thing too. If the older brother had to lose, at least he went out on a homer.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
I
That's
mean,
true.
so
Yeah.
he
Yes.
was, he went up there and did his absolute best that he could do
Mhm.
for his team, and had
Yeah.
his brother cheering him when he, rounded the
Mhm.
bases. So it
Yeah.
was very cool. So fun.
Kyle laughs about that moment because he says I was scared. And I said, "Why? Why were you scared?" And he said, "I was scared to give him five or congratulate him at all because I didn't want any of my teammates to be mad at me." And I said,
Oh.
Kyle, if they didn't understand, that's silly,
Mhm.
And he
Right.
said, but they weren't. And I was like, well, yeah, no. And he asked the umpire out there. He goes, "Do you think any of the coaches are going to be upset with me?"
And the
And I
ump's
said,
probably like,
"No,
you did the
they're
right
fine."
thing. That's your brother,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, that's your brother.
yeah,
That's brother.
yeah.
That's your
Blood's thicker
brother.
than
And
That's what
water.
you're supposed to do.
we were outside the locker rooms, or whenever you go to meet them at the buses and stuff, and the one of the representatives for the whole series came up to us and said, "Are you the Branches?" And we were like, "Well, yeah. I mean, we're wearing the jerseys and everything."
You had the
And
split jerseys,
yes,
right? The,
ma'am.
the Georgia
We
and the
did.
OU.
And they said, "The umpires want to talk to you." And we were
Oh
like,
no.
"What?
What?
Are we in trouble?"
What
What
is
happened?
Yeah. So they took us back into the umpires locker room and gave us the lineup cards for each team, which they said, "We don't normally do this, but we thought this was such a unique occasion and such a
Mhm.
wonderful experience, and we love your boys, and it's so great to meet you guys, and we've worked with your boys, a couple of
Yeah,
us, for at least a couple of years, because there was
sure.
one that was in a couple of them, I think maybe were SEC umpires, and
Okay.
anyway." So, but they presented us with the lineup cards, and we took pictures with them and met all of them, and they were so kind to do that, and it was
Uh-huh.
like a special added touch. There was a lot of things that were special about
That's
all of it, but
Oh,
wonderful.
that's super. Yeah,
mhm.
That's
super.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure there were a lot of Georgia fans there because Georgia had such a great year, but there were a lot of Sooner fans
Mhm.
in Omaha too, right?
Yes, yes. I was actually surprised, because I would think that OU football reigns. Um I don't know, you just
Mm-hmm.
know people are going to show up for OU football, but for
Right.
OU baseball, you just never know. But
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot, and they were very passionate, and they were
Yeah.
very supportive, and they were they were doing their best to cheer, and they didn't stop. It was really, it was an amazing experience. It was great. It was great to see OU show up in that
Yeah.
respect. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Very awesome.
mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, tell us about Kyle and how what were his, I guess we know he was excited when he won the
Mm-hmm.
championship, but was he more excited? Was that, the ultimate? Or is it like, oh, we've been doing this, we knew we could do it kind of thing? Was it
Yeah.
more like that attitude, or we never thought we'd make it this far? What?
Yeah. At some point, he was trying to think of the right words to say. He wasn't sure about where they were headed. But in the beginning, remember him saying this in the beginning of the year. He's like, "Mom," and he'll say blanket statements like this often. "Mom, we're an Omaha team. We're an Omaha team." And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
"Great, that sounds
Okay.
fantastic. Let's
Okay.
do
Yeah.
that. Let's do." Mom, I'm serious, and I'm like, "Okay, all right. Well then, let's go." And this was
All
probably in the
right.
fall. He's like, "We're so good," and I'm like, "Okay." And then
Interesting.
he said, "We
Okay.
have so much talent," and I said, "Okay, great." And then he goes back in the spring, and he said, "I really think we can do it. We can do it. We can be something." And then, you've got, they're not as hyped up as, say Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And we've
Mm-hmm.
got the both views in our household. And so it's kind
Sure.
of like, well, you kind of have to believe the older brother is going to do better or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because
Uh-huh.
Georgia was hyped up a lot more.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
then OU is kind of like, not looked upon as they have a chip on their shoulder because they
Oh,
weren't the
yeah.
guy that was,
Uh-huh.
in the preseason top
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
Right.
they
Right.
weren't looked at. And so they always played like that too, which I can
Okay.
appreciate. I think that's
Uh-huh.
awesome. And
Yeah.
Kyle, that is directly in line with his personality because, oh, you want to tell me I can't do something? Well, let me show you how I can,
Yeah.
because that's just, he's strong willed, he's
Yeah.
fiery, he's been like that since he was little. And he is definitely, it definitely played into his personality and the way he is and his
Okay.
makeup. And
Uh-huh.
so I'm sure that there's other kiddos that are on the team that were the same way, but
Sure.
the team ended up being that way. And not because of
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
Right.
they weren't under the radar. And so
Mm-hmm.
it was special for them to have that moment where, you know, everybody's going, What happened? What happened?"
Right.
And if you talk to Kyle and if you talk to Jackson Willits and a few others on the team too, I mean, they'll say, "Mom, it was all God. It was a God thing
Oh,
because
yes. Mm-hmm.
we pulled together and we decided, hey, no more of this. Um, we're not going to stand for this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take charge and we're gonna get this thing right. We're gonna right the ship and we're gonna get
Right.
Okay.
going."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
I
he
love
said
that.
Reggie Willits was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, fired up the team after, well, I think when they were in Georgia,
Okay.
and said, gotta lay it all out on the line. You've gotta
Yeah.
you've gotta play, your best baseball. So
Yeah.
um so
Yeah.
anyway,
Loser
Kyle
goes
just kept
home.
going, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. We're all coming together. We're all doing the things that we need to do at the right time, and
Uh-huh.
if we're not, then somebody else is coming up and helping us
Mm-hmm.
out, and if somebody
Yeah.
that normally does something is having a bad day, then somebody that's unassuming is coming up and doing what they need to do. So
Yeah.
it just all worked out for the best.
We
Well,
get no.
So
I was just watching on TV, and so I would watch the games on TV, and the commentators at first were very much like they didn't even know
yeah,
our players' names, or they'd
yeah,
call the wrong one. They got them at the wrong positions and stuff. And I'm like, I've just been watching a few of these games, but I know who the catcher is. Um, and they'd
right,
get them all confused, and then they'd say things like, "They hardly had a winning season. They're not
right.
expected to do
Yeah.
well here." But oh my goodness, he just hit a 4-run home run. Oh my word!
Oh,
They
yeah.
were totally off guard until
Mm-hmm.
probably middle of the College World Series, and
Yeah.
then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, we don't know where this team came from, but
You
Right,
golly,
better
they've
start
got some
taking them
firepower."
seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
right.
they're they're serious. They're like living, eating, breathing baseball right now, and
Mm-hmm.
they got busy. The commentators got busy and learned their names and their
Yes.
positions and what their batting average
Yeah.
was, and
Mm-hmm.
that they had just kind of glossed over, like, oh, let's see who's
Yeah.
out there. 22. Is that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, no, that's 21.
Yeah.
I don't. I
And
don't.
that's all.
Let's. Yeah.
Yeah. And that all speaks to that overlooked and underdog
Chip on the
and
shoulder.
chip on the
Yeah.
shoulder. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
So.
I think the Sooners could sneak in under the radar,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, nobody's expecting us to score one
Right.
run,
Right.
let alone
Right.
8, and beat
Yes.
this team.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do it, and they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even when Dana and I had done the podcast after the national championship game, um, even though I was like out of the country but following along, it seemed like every game there was a different one or two guys who were like the star, right? And it wasn't ever
Yep.
the same. I mean, and so it was like you were saying, Carrie, they were just all doing their part. And if somebody was having a
Mm-hmm.
down night, there was somebody else,
Yep.
right there coming up to bat who's going to, take
Mm-hmm.
care of it and stuff. And then their fielding was fabulous,
Yes.
all the
Mm-hmm.
way around. And so, yeah,
Yep.
it was such a team effort. And I think baseball
Yeah.
probably is like that anyway, because
Mm-hmm.
you can have one guy who hits homers, but if you don't have the
Yeah.
pitching and the fielding and other batters,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah. It'll break your heart, baseball will.
Sure.
And feels like a sucker punch sometimes, but it can also be like, just so celebratory at the same time, I don't know. I know Desan Harris, the things that he did at the tournament were just lights out. He was incredible. And but to go from being a walk-on to being a
Mhm.
national champion, and he's fighting every day for his spot as
Sure, his
well,
spot.
and he did just an amazing at the tournament, and they all
Well,
had fantastic moments.
my
They all
kids are
did.
Panthers. Both my kids
Oh,
graduated from
okay.
East,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my husband could hit a golf ball 2 east from where I'm sitting right now.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I was
Awesome.
I love Desan's story. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I love it,
Yeah, and he's a great kid too. Great
Oh,
parents.
that's good to hear. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, are they all coming back? We hope.
I think
That's
so,
the
as far as I
plan,
know.
right?
As far as I
Okay.
know, yeah. I mean, not all, because yeah, Jackson got drafted, and a
Right.
few others.
Yeah. Some
Camden
guys
got drafted,
gone. Yeah.
Dayton and Brendan.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yes.
have some spots to fill, but
Yes.
I mean, not me, but
Oh, come on, Carrie. I'm sure you
Coach
can
Skip
do
and
it.
Reggie.
You've
Oh,
been
maybe.
you've been a baseball mom for a long time. I
Yeah.
bet
Yeah,
you
you
know a
can
lot.
step in there.
Yeah.
Come on. Give me
Yeah.
the bat.
Can get our connections. Yeah, start networking right now. Let's put some stuff together. See what we can do.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm.
Well, so is Carson hoping to play at the next level?
Yes, he is actually okay. This is a funny story, actually. Okay. So I don't even know if I should say this out loud, but I will.
Okay, we'll take
Rusty,
it.
my husband. So sometimes he goes to the summer ball tournaments, and he's wearing like full OU stuff head to toe, just because he likes to represent OU,
Mhm.
just no matter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And sometimes he would wear Georgia stuff, whatever. But he was going to a tournament out in, I don't know, I think it was New Mexico for Carson. And this was last summer. And so he was head to toe OU. And he's walking through, he's talking on his phone. So he just kind of gives the girl that's taking the money at the gate, giving her oh, yeah, hey.
Yeah.
And he's just walking in. So they assume that he's a coach. So he just gets in.
I love it. That's
Anyway,
awesome.
anyway, that's him in a nutshell. But yeah, yeah. But then he goes in and he says, "Hey," but he says somebody's saying, "Hey, coach," and he's like,
Are you talking to me?
and he's like, "Yeah." And then this guy comes up to him and says, "Hey," and he goes, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else." And he was like, "Well, who did you think I was?" And because he's wearing all OU stuff, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
he's in his mind, Rusty's going, please be Reggie, because Reggie's real built and
Yeah.
works out a lot, I guess. And so and then he said, oh, I thought you were Todd Butler. And Rusty's like, oh, okay, I can see the resemblance. And
Yeah.
then so then it was a coach from Dartmouth.
Okay.
And so he was like, oh, sorry. But anyway, they talked a little bit, and Rusty didn't ever say,
Oh,
who
he
he
didn't
was or
say, I've
whatever.
got a son
okay.
here
No.
playing.
He said, I've got a son here, but he didn't say who.
Right.
And anyway, so he saw Carson play, and he wrote his name down, I guess. And so
Okay.
he is committed to go play at Dartmouth. So
Oh, he's committed. Okay.
He's committed.
So he's smart
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's a smart
He's
boy.
smart.
Not that your other
Excellent.
two
Yes,
aren't.
yes.
Yeah.
Not that your
Yes,
other two
yeah.
aren't, but
Yeah.
going to Dartmouth, yeah, you got some brains
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Rusty said
Good.
he was smart enough, but he wasn't smart enough to get into OU. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's a joke. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. We all know that.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're Sooner grads. We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know we know the score.
Oh,
We're-
I don't
we're
know
not
if we have
Ivy
any
League.
Ivy League. Yeah, we don't have any Ivy League in our family either. But
That's awesome.
Hopefully,
Well,
we
very
will now.
good. Okay, so I didn't realize he was
Yeah.
committed.
That
That's
he
great.
committed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Now,
deal.
your younger son, does he play baseball? Does he play football, basketball? What sports does he play?
He plays football, and he runs track. He did not pick up baseball. When he was younger, it was just didn't move fast enough for him, and
Yes.
so
Okay.
he did not enjoy it.
Mhm.
And he
Yeah.
was like the king of the concession stand. That was
Sure.
that was his thing. He
That's
he was
way
there
more
a
fun
lot.
than watching those guys out on the field.
Yeah.
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 My
He-
younger daughter was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just always had blue all over his face and Gatorade running down the shirt. But
That's good.
he is a true sport. Yeah. Yeah. He's very supportive. But he loves football.
Okay.
Okay.
So what position
Okay.
does he play in football?
He plays wide receiver and safety.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So is he like under 6 foot? Like, because I know Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle's under 6 foot, right?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's
I don't
6
know
foot,
about
but I
Kolby.
don't know. He just keeps Colby's
Oh well, yeah,
probably
he's still growing.
5'11".
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
And I
least
think
that's what he was.
I think
listed,
Kyle's about 6 foot. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They both say they're 5'11", I think, on the rosters, but
Okay.
Kooper might be taller eventually, but he's still growing, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
He's-
he's
he's a
fast.
good
Well,
size.
obviously
He's
he runs
fast.
track.
He's
Yeah.
fast if he's
Yeah.
running track. Yeah.
yeah, he is fast. He's probably the fastest of all of them.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to be fast if you're playing this. What does he do in track?
Mhm.
What does he run?
Last year it was middle school track, so it was
Mhm.
the 4x1
Okay.
and the 200, and
So he
I think
sprints.
he did the 100 like once or twice, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
he's pretty
very
fast.
good.
He does
Yeah.
the
Well,
relays. yeah.
we're waiting. We're watching and waiting in the wings for him to
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
his
come on the
football
scene.
skills to to
Yes.
progress and for him to come play at OU.
Yeah, that'd be fun. He would love
Yes.
that for sure.
Wouldn't that be fun? Your husband, he would definitely love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He could keep wearing all
Absolutely.
of his OU gear.
Right. Yeah.
Did you play any sports?
Growing up, I was a dancer, and so I
Okay.
danced
Mhm.
from probably 9 years old till I graduated high school, and
Okay.
then I danced a little in college too with the performance group at college, and then
Okay.
but I played volleyball in high school,
Okay.
middle school, and high
Okay.
school. Loved
And you're from
volleyball.
Texas?
I'm from Abilene.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and I went to school in San Angelo, so I didn't go
Oh,
far.
Angelo State. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
I took my daughter on a college visit there.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yes.
it's a good town. I haven't been
good.
back in a while though.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, we
Good.
want to know how you fed or how you still feed 4 boys. What's your grocery bill? And how do you cook? Do you cook 5 meals a
I-
day?
No.
And is that on the Google calendar?
Yeah, do you have meal
No.
plan, meal
I'm
prep?
sad to say, no, I'm not that great of a homemaker, I don't think. But they'll
That's because you're going all these directions. It's hard.
You're somewhere all the time. So
yeah.
how do
I
they
cook
eat?
for the purpose, not for the enjoyment. I guess is what you
Okay.
could say.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
That's the kind of cook I am.
I'm not
Me
great at
too.
it. Yeah,
Me too.
I'm not
Me
great
too.
at it, but I do follow the directions and I get it done. And but no, I'm not the 3 meals a day cooking mom. I mean, I kind of wish I was, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Um, we did a lot of um HelloFresh or
Mm-hmm.
those mail or yeah. And so
Mm-hmm.
I would follow those directions and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there you go. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
is. And we get the biggest that we can. But
That's what I was gonna
no matter
say.
But
what you
yeah.
yeah. Well they do meals for it's like 2 or 4. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I may have to buy some extra chicken or
Yes.
something,
Yeah.
or some extra beef or whatever to,
Mm-hmm.
fill it in. But
Yes.
I would just do that bacon extra chicken breast or something. But um they would always out eat anything I made anyway, so they'd always
True.
have like a pre-dinner Chipotle and Chipotle's big
Okay.
here. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So they had that was
they
their
eat
snack.
constantly.
That was their
Yeah.
appetizer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then they had
Yeah.
dinner and then they
Yeah.
probably had a night snack.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Judy
to
was
just keep
here. I
stuff
remember.
around.
Yeah, Judy would talk about how like cereal too was. I mean, like for John, he'd have
Mhm.
cereal before dinner, cereal before bed, because that's just so quick and
Yes.
easy, right? Of course, that means you're going
Mhm.
through lots of milk
Uh-huh.
too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go through lots of milk too. That's for
yeah,
sure.
probably Costco and Sam's, right? Costco or Sam's.
Uh-huh.
Did you? Yeah,
Yes, and
yeah,
water bottles and Powerades and Gatorades and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine. Well, no, I can't imagine. I only had one boy, and
Mhm.
that was enough. You know.
I had girls and they'd push it to the side of their plate and I'm like, that's dinner. So you either eat
Mhm.
it or you cook your own. I'm not hungry.
Mhm. Yeah. Carson's getting to where he's starting to cook. So that's good.
Oh,
Oh,
now that's good.
good.
Yeah,
That's
I
Okay.
good.
know. He just
Yeah.
made
Good.
dinner in there a little bit ago. He said, "Mom, I have some chicken if you want some." I said, "Oh, smells really good."
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
that's a
Excellent.
benefit.
all
Mhm.
right. Love that. So,
Mhm.
what else you got, Dana?
Well, I wondered, we learned something from Judy when we
Mhm.
asked, how did you keep the boys' uniforms clean? What did you use to to wash them in? And we're hoping we
Uh,
can get a sponsorship, but
yeah, really.
we want to know if you
Really.
have any tricks. How do you get
Not,
dirt
you know what?
and grass out of white uniforms?
I don't really do a great job of that either. I guess I'm just not doing very good at my job. But um no, I would probably curse the every time the coaches decided on white pants. I'm like, why? Why? They're just
Why?
getting it, the
Yeah.
first game or practice, they're messed up. But
Uh-huh.
um I really I had heard all kinds of things, OxyClean, soak
Mm-hmm.
them and then put them in the washer and then spraying them incessantly and using a brush and um, it was like Fells Naphtha and Zote. I've tried all of
Okay.
those like
Okay.
Okay.
bar soaps that
Yeah.
Okay.
you scrub.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming y'all wanted a literal answer,
Yeah,
right?
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
wanted
No,
me to
yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Did that work? Did the Zote bar work?
They did, but it wasn't it doesn't ever come back to its true original form, I
Okay.
mean,
Doesn't
it
come back
never
to
gets
white
Okay.
as white
white.
for me anyway. Like
Yeah.
I really want to know how the college guys have a
Right.
laundry team. How do
Yeah.
they
How they do
how
it.
do that yeah, I have no
And
idea.
why don't they share that information with the rest of us?
I know. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. I know. I don't know what they do, but I did do one thing a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Because I'd seen it on Facebook where a mom took them to a car wash and did a high pressure wash. The
Okay.
self serve
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
car wash. So you just hang them up there like your floor mats
Like a
and
floor
those
Okay.
mat.
little clips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you just spray.
Did
And it
that
worked.
help? Okay.
It worked. It helped,
Interesting.
but it can deteriorate the fabric a little bit.
Fabric. That
Like
makes
Okay.
sense.
Because the
so,
pressure.
like the
I mean,
next
that does make
practice or
sense.
game, there was a hole at the knee. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, Mom,
Oops.
all I did was slide one time and it came open. And I'm like, oh,
What
wow, I
happened?
wonder how
And
that
you're like,
happened.
I don't
I have no
know.
idea.
You must
Yeah,
be
no clue.
so hard
Yeah.
on them. You must
Yeah.
have slid a lot. Quit sliding
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
You're really working hard, aren't you? You're working hard. I can tell.
Somebody I work with, her boys, they're still little elementary school age, but they're both big baseball players. I mean, as big as you
Mm-hmm.
can be when you're that age.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was talking about the white pants, and she uses some kind of Dawn, like
Oh,
the
like the
dish soap.
Dish soap?
dish soap, like
Really?
the platinum
Yes.
spray stuff.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
and the person, the patient who was with us, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's what you do." And I'm like, "Okay, I
Yeah,
never heard this. I didn't know this when
yeah.
Josh was wearing white football pants." And
Right.
once
Mm-hmm.
he got in high school, they cleaned the
Yeah,
uniforms,
yeah.
right? So I didn't have to worry
Good
about
luck.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You guys have fun. Just
Yeah.
try and get this staff off.
My daughter played softball in high school, and I had to clean her white pants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Wow.
That's
And
a
No, I
lot.
wish
why
I'd
do they
known
wear the
that.
white, right? Why
I
do they
don't
have to
know.
wear the
I
white
don't know.
pants? I mean, yes, they look
It
good.
looks really nice. Yeah.
It
It
does look
looks
really
nice.
nice.
Well, and our
Okay.
coaches would say it's cool. It's cooler, than our
Yeah.
colors were blue and gold, and
Mm-hmm.
in high school, and so they'd wear white pants and then like a royal blue top with gold letters.
Yeah.
And they're like, the white pants are cooler than if we had, royal blue pants. I don't know if that's true or not. Because it's hot when you're outside
Yeah, it's
playing
hot.
baseball.
It's
It's
just
hot.
hot.
It's
No
hot.
matter.
It's
No
hot.
matter
Hot
what
is
color
hot.
you're wearing,
It's
it's
the
hot.
summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Well,
that's what the coaches said.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do they know? No, just kidding. Well, I don't know if Dana's ever heard me say this, but my son, both my kids, when they were little, they played all the things. But Josh is like your youngest son. Baseball was too slow for him, but he did play a couple years. And when he quit playing, he was probably like in first grade. And I'm like, oh, come on, because you guys look so cute.
Yeah.
Little boys'
I
baseball
know.
uniforms are the cutest
I
things in the
know.
world.
True.
I know.
They are
I know.
just so cute with their little baseball pants and their hats on. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't care what you do. I just want to see you in your little baseball uniform.
Yeah.
Play one more season so I can see you in your cute little
Let me
baseball
take some-
uniform.
Yeah. Let me take some pictures.
Yes.
It'll just be a second.
But yeah, my
That's
son
funny.
was also he was like what you said, Kooper. Josh is like, that's like way
Yeah.
too slow. No, thank
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't never push him because it was,
Yeah.
he told me recently, and he said, "Mom, I told you back then that I did that." And I said, "What did you do?" And he said, "I used to hide my cleats. Remember? Do you remember looking for my shoes?" And I was like, "Yes, we could never always find them." And he said, "I would hide my cleats because I didn't want to go to baseball." I'm like, "Well,
Really? Okay.
then
You're
then
like,
we were
just
right
tell
to
me.
yeah."
But
Then
he
we were
was
right to
worried you
say,
would
"Oh,
make
we're not
him.
going to make him play baseball." Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's I love
Yeah.
it though that he finally decided he'd fess up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Admit that.
Exactly. Yeah, that was me. I was hiding the cleats.
Well, but your older boys, did they play other sports for a while, or were they
Yes.
just always just baseball?
No, they played everything. Kolby
yeah.
played football probably not till 5th grade or so because I
Okay.
was just terrified of football. I don't know. I
No, a
just
lot of
didn't
moms
want him to
are.
play.
I get
So,
it.
and he was my
Mhm.
first, and so I'm like,
Uh-huh.
no. But I think he started in 5th or 6th grade, and then he played through middle school. I mean, but they were all. There's always a football game going on in the
Right.
house, outside in the
Oh, uh-huh.
backyard. I mean,
Sure.
it's not like he didn't play football. He
Yeah.
just and he played 7-on-7. He just never
Uh-huh.
played tackle really.
Okay.
And then he let that go. He played basketball too, and all the way through middle school. He did everything up until high school, and then high school was
Mhm.
just strictly baseball. And he was on varsity freshman year and all that.
Right. From
And
the
then
start.
Kyle played football. He was really good, running back, and what else? He played basketball,
Mhm.
baseball. They played soccer when they were really little, but that was it.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
Kyle played freshman football, and he was like he was a quarterback and maybe I don't know, some kind of defender. I don't know.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know what he did, but I know he played quarterback and he did really well.
Mhm.
But he just didn't want to. He wanted to go baseball.
Yeah.
But and then Carson did the same thing. Played basketball, football, baseball, and then got to freshman year. After his freshman year of football, he was a running back. He was pretty good too, and he just said, "I'm tired of getting beat up," and so.
Okay.
And so I said, okay. So they both ventured on to baseball. Yeah. Yeah. And then Cooper's in his freshman year and playing football.
Yeah, I would think too, if baseball's your love, because of summer baseball and all the travel with summer baseball, it would be really hard to play another sport,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem
Just
like it ever ends, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because my daughter
True.
played volleyball, and volleyball's kind of like that too.
It is.
She loved basketball, but the last time she played basketball was in 8th grade, and she kind of thought about still playing it because that was her first love. But then volleyball took over. But then also you get, especially like if baseball's their sport, but they're playing football, you get worried about them getting hurt for their main sport.
Yeah.
And that's how I
Right.
was with Brianna in basketball. I'm like, okay, these girls are rough. I mean, people who say basketball is not a contact sport lie.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I think
And
so too.
I mean, I'm just like, you can keep playing, but I'm a little worried because you got, volleyball tryouts in a week and a half, and I don't want you to get hurt. So, yeah. And
Right.
especially when you
Right.
live around here and things, the schools are so big and there's a lot of other people who, are vying for those positions too.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not playing and you're not preparing in the off season,
Right.
you get left behind is what they say. But
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is Kyle studying in college?
He is in the finance program at the
Okay.
business school there. So
Okay.
was it Michael Price Business
Yeah,
School?
the Michael Price
School of
Business
Business.
College.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes.
he's
Okay.
studying finance. He's very good with numbers, is all I know. And beyond that, beyond probably 4th grade math, I'm like, good luck.
Have fun with that. Get a
Just a
tutor
cheerleader
if you
for
don't
him.
know what to
Yeah.
do.
But he has been
Exactly.
able to keep his studies up and still play
Yeah.
baseball. I mean,
Yeah, I
okay,
think he
great.
was on maybe an honor roll list his freshman year or something. We kind of they're in charge of their grades, and I mean, I mean, I don't even know that I have access to his grades.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing when y'all were talking with Judy that that's what she said too.
Yep, that is what she said.
But they've got to own it at some point.
Right.
It's their yeah. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to, yeah, right.
You want them to grow up and be productive. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you're there to get an education, and let's work on that. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
you're also there to play baseball.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and win national championships.
Yeah, exactly. Got to do that. Yeah.
Get
For
drafted.
crazy fans like us.
Oh.
Exactly.
I was gonna circle back because speaking of them having the responsibility, that would be misleading if I didn't say this, but like probably ever since they were actually in 13 or so, the boys did their own laundry. So they were responsible for their own laundry. So I don't want to revisit the laundry discussion, but
yes,
but,
that's great.
Yeah. But
so if they had stains on their knees at that age, it was on them, not on you.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to just go, oh well. But there will be times sometimes when I'll go back behind them and go, I think this could use one more wash. It's not quite right, or it's not smelling too swift, or but
like we're still learning. I'm just helping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep.
Well, yeah, you had twice as many kids as I did, so I would think
yes,
you have to do that because even just having to. It's busy, and
you don't want them to go off to college and not know how to do all that stuff. So
right, exactly,
right,
yeah. But I'm glad you showed us your calendar because I do wonder. I mean, I just remember with 2, active kids, and Dana had 2 active kids too, and her kids did lots of extracurriculars too, just in high school. But then if you've got 4, and then they're just as active in college.
Right. Still... And you're trying to get to all the different things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
So
a bunch of
we
moving
applaud
parts.
you.
Yes.
We
No,
applaud you for
thank
your
you.
efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
Well,
done a
it's a
great
lot of
job.
it wasn't just me. Rusty's really good at firing
Oh,
out
Do
all
we have
the
to give him credit?
plans
I mean,
too.
come on.
Yeah.
This is
Maybe we need to
Nah.
have him on. Maybe we need to have a
Yeah,
dad's talk
exactly.
party. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
that
We
would be
should.
fun.
I don't
Dad's
know,
Talk
maybe.
Sporty.
He probably. I told him I was doing a podcast, and he's like, "Wait, what?
What?
Who is it? Who are you talking?"
Oh,
I said, "Oh, it's a big
okay.
deal. It's just ESPN." And he's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
He's
He
like,
was mad. He was mad. He's like,
wait a
"Wait, why wasn't
minute."
I included?" Yeah, what?
Well, I have heard people say that there should someday be a 30 for 30 or 30 on 30 ESPN special about this baseball team and just how,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
their regular season was,
Mhm.
just very average, but they just came
Yes.
on and
Yeah.
all the things that you talked about, how they knew they had the talent. They,
Yeah.
played with that chip on their shoulder because, as Dana
Yeah.
said, even the commentators, at least the national commentators, weren't always
Yeah.
giving them much credit. And also, it
Yeah.
seems like the staff at OU, the baseball staff's really
Mhm.
great. And
They are for sure.
yeah, and Dana and I often talk about how, because we'll talk a lot about Coach Gasso and Coach Venables and how they seem like they're focused not just on this sport, but on making the athletes productive members of society.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that
Mhm.
feeling from Skip Johnson too, that, I mean,
Right.
baseball's
Yeah.
important, of course, but he wants them to be good people when they're
Yep.
done.
That's absolutely true. That's the feeling
Yeah.
I get, and what I hear from Kyle. And Kyle just giggles at all of his skippisms, and he appreciates all of the coaches' leadership and how they've had an impact on him too.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
still a growing boy. You send your
Sure.
boys off,
Mhm.
and they're men, but they're still highly influenced by
Yeah.
their coaches and teachers and professors and friends.
Mhm.
But they have definitely had a great impact on Kyle, for certain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
good.
and
Mhm.
that's
to hear that.
awesome. That's really what sports needs to be about. I mean, we
Yes.
do get
Yes.
caught up in the wins. We want to
Yeah,
win.
of course. Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to lose every game.
Yeah.
We want to win, but we want to make these young kids grow up into productive dads, husbands,
Mhm.
workers at their
Mhm.
job, coworkers, whatever,
Right.
productive people in society. Not, well, I'm due this or I'm due that or you owe this to
Mhm.
me, because
Mhm.
I was a great athlete once upon a time. I mean, we all grow up at some point and can't always compete
Right.
athletically. I think your boys are going to be able to compete much longer than I could have or my children. But, at
That's
some
the hope,
point
I guess.
they've got to get on with life too. And what are
Mhm.
they going to do when sports are gone?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. It's
and
important.
that's what Shawn and I love seeing in our coaches. And I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
OU's been good at finding that in coaches. And maybe it's just that they draw that in. It's maybe more their personality, their inherent personality. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. The skippisms, and it seems like he just keeps everybody, at an even keel, and
Even keel.
just very calm, very, hey, you know what? We're still going to go have dinner after the game. Everything's going to be fun. I don't know that he's
Yeah.
said any of
Yeah.
that, but it's just,
Right.
that's the kind of temperament,
Attitude. Mhm.
yeah, we're still all good.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
still doing our thing.
Well.
We're having fun. We're playing baseball.
Mhm.
It's just, and his big thing was, I think, one pitch at a time. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, one
if
pitch at a
things don't
time.
go right at that one pitch,
Mhm.
then guess what? Just brush it off
Another one's
and move
coming.
on to the next
Mhm.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another one's coming.
Yeah.
Well,
I love
one of
that.
the things, and I think this came out during the SEC media days with football. They asked Coach Venables, "What about Gentry Williams? He had played at OU, and he's now playing. I've forgotten now.
He's at
Did he go to
Georgia, right?
He's at Georgia, and they asked him you're going to play against him. And he said, I love Gentry. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful kid. And he's going on and on. And then they ask another SEC coach
Just south of here.
just south of here that wears horns, but they need to be upside
Uh,
down, about a former player of his that's at OU, and he
oh.
said some rather derogatory things, about.
Yeah.
I mean, it was more like he's on that team. I don't care about him,
Uh-huh.
but I want to beat him. Not.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing well. I hope.
Yeah. Kyle graduated with him, this athlete that you're talking about.
The one who was at Texas and is now at OU? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they graduated together and they played baseball together for a brief
okay.
time.
Okay.
Once upon a time. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the sports world is very,
Oh, very intermingled. Well, to
Yeah,
me,
uh-huh.
that summed up the difference of our football coach, and it sounds
Yeah.
like our baseball coach.
Mhm.
Our
Yeah,
baseball
yeah,
coaches and
yeah.
our softball coaches. They care about the person, and I
Mhm.
think the kids
Mhm.
see that. I hope they do,
Yeah.
as opposed to the coaches that I've got to win these or I lose my job. My job
Mhm.
depends on it, my income, my family,
Which is
whatever.
also true. Both can
It
be
is.
true. Yeah.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's true.
It's true. We can laugh about or say, well, we didn't play that well, but hey, the band looked great. And our job on Monday doesn't depend on
That's
the
right.
football game on
Right.
the weekend.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate that. So I'm glad to know
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
Kyle is experiencing that.
Yeah.
Good
Mhm, for
teachers
sure.
as coaches
Mhm,
at the
mhm.
baseball team.
Yeah. Well, and
Yes.
we could tell just the way the boys supported each other and how excited the family was in the stands, that, the
Mhm.
families that, it's understandable why the umpires talked to you guys after that game,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Yeah. Super sweet.
we could see, that love between
Yeah.
the brothers and the support of the family that they
Mhm.
both have, and that was endearing to all of us. So
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks
We
for letting
we
us share
Of course.
your boys spotlight.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes.
That's cool. Yes.
We want to thank you
we
for
had
being
fun.
on here with us and just visiting. And
Yeah.
we will be getting this out to ESPN later.
Yeah.
So they may be
Tell your
calling
husband.
you.
Yeah. 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 We'll talk. We'll talk.
Do you
30
have
for 30,
anything
right?
that you want to mention that we didn't ask about? Is there anything or a funny story or you've shared lots of good stories with us.
Yes,
but
lots of good stories.
anything that we
No.
didn't even think to ask?
Ugh. I'm not sure. I'll probably think of a few things whenever we get wrapped up. But I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have.
All
Thanks for
right.
Is
being
there any-
so open.
Do y'all have any?
Yes,
Do y'all have any
yes.
other questions or
Oh
anything?
gosh, you covered
No?
everything and more than
yes,
what I
you
had.
did.
It
I'm
was
so
great.
impressed with
Yeah.
the organization of your life that you were able to get to all the different
Well,
things.
let's just use that term loosely, okay? Because we tried. We tried.
Yeah,
It was an
well,
attempt. It was a
Just
solid
go with
try.
it. We'll just go with it.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Shawn, I don't have anything else. Do you
Me
have anything
neither.
else to add?
No.
All right. Well,
Oh
then
wait,
I'm
no,
gonna-
I know. So Carrie,
Yes.
I graduated from grad school at Michigan. I went to undergrad at OU. And
Okay.
we are going up to the Michigan football game. My Michigan friends had come down here last year, and I'm going to make a split t-shirt. So any
Oh.
She needs pointers.
hints on any pointers on doing that?
Wow. Okay. So we
Because you
just
guys had them for the games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ordered each, because with Rusty you can't just do it halfway. You have to have
Okay.
the Nike, the official jersey, right?
Mhm.
So we had the Oklahoma jersey and the Georgia jersey, and we just had a seamstress or tailor cut them down the middle. She wasn't super
Okay.
comfortable with it, but we were like, okay, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
But she cut it down the middle and then sewed them back together.
Okay.
And then we had another embroidery place put on their numbers and the SEC. We ordered SEC
Oh, on each
patches
sleeve.
Okay.
on each sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we had, and then we just put the our name across the back. So we didn't have
Yeah.
any numbers on the back, so
Okay.
it didn't cut
Okay.
that in half. So we put the numbers on the sleeves.
Okay, that's a good idea
Yeah.
because I was gonna maybe like on the back put like what my graduation years, but I may just put it on the
Oh,
sleeves.
yeah.
That's
You could do
That's
the
cool.
sleeves.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
okay,
But
that's
I don't
cool.
know that
That's a
I'm
good
going to sit
idea.
by you. I just don't know that I'm
Yeah,
going to
you,
sit by you.
but
at the
you
game.
are because our tickets
Well,
are
I'm
together.
wearing red. I am not wearing any blue
I
and
was
gold.
going to say, how are you going to do
well,
that?
It's a maze out. They're having
It's a maze out.
It's a maze
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
What is
So-
that? What is a maze
So
out?
Michigan's colors
Big
are
blue?
blue and maize like gold, like corn.
Oh,
You know,
I'm thinking maze
and
like, okay.
yeah, MAIZE.
IZ.
And
Okay.
yeah, and so they're going to do the maze.
It'll all be gold,
Ah.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you'll
Okay.
be red.
I'll be
you'll be
red.
Yeah. And the shirts I've got so far, they're like they're actually like the same Nike shirt. So hopefully they'll line. I haven't gotten them in yet, but hopefully they'll line up
Yeah,
okay to do
that'll
that.
be
And they're
good.
white.
Yeah.
So I won't be red or gold.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll be white.
You'll be white.
That'll work. That'll
Yeah.
be
But
cute.
it'll say
and it'll be really
MICH
subtle.
on one side and
I'm kind of thinking about making it do like Oklahoma, and then it'll say
Oklahoma.
Sooner Wolverine Soonerine.
Soonerine.
Yeah, yeah.
Soonerine.
love
Because
it.
it says like Oklahoma and Wolverine, so it'll say like like Oklahoma Soonerine.
Soonerine.
Yeah, it's like we had Bullhoma and Okla dogs.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
And we had to think
Oakland
about whether we
dogs.
wanted.
Oakland dogs. I love it.
That's
It's
hilarious.
like, yeah, you have to think about
Oakland
that now
dogs. Yes.
because we
Oakland
couldn't
dogs.
do
I
like
like it.
Georgia because Georgia Homa. We couldn't do
Yeah.
that Georgia. Georgia we couldn't do that.
Georgia.
I mean, I
Georgia.
could do like Mishaoma, but I want the Okla to be the main thing because that was the first
Okay.
one, and
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and we're
so.
gonna win.
Yeah.
So you may have to rip it in half when the
I may
game's
just
over.
have my
Soonerine.
like Okla just straight crimson underneath, and then take
Okay,
it
you
off
can take
after
it
the
off.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
kind of
think that's a
invested
good
in
plan.
this. I think you should do Soonerines.
Right?
I think that
Doesn't
sounds cute.
fun?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
That does
Yeah.
sound cute.
Yeah, I thought that sounds
Yeah.
cute.
Soonerine.
So yeah, I'll text you a picture when I get
Yeah.
it done.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Oh, I want to
But
see
thanks
it.
for the
Yeah,
tips.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
course.
All right.
Anytime.
Now you can sign off, Dana. Now
All
I've
right.
gotten...
Well, it's time to sign off, and we will get a picture of Shawn's Soonerine outfit
Yes.
before the game, and then we're going to cut it in half at the end of the game because the Sooners are going to win.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, team! You got to don't let me down here. All right. Well, that's all we have today. We thank you, Kari, for
Thanks so
keeping
much.
Thank
us
you.
entertained and informed
Mhm.
on your busy life and the busy
Mhm.
life you've led, being the mom of these 4 great kids, these great
Yes.
guys. And I wish them all the best and hope that they have success
Yeah.
with everything
Thank
that they do.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so
And
much
we'll-
for having me on.
We'll try and see
Yeah.
you next year. We need to come to some of the baseball games. So
Mhm.
Shawn and I need to just come to some of the
Yeah.
games and we'll
Yes,
look
we
you
do.
up. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Works
We
for
can
me.
do it. All right.
Let's do
Well,
it.
Boomer,
Sooner.
Sooner.
go OU.
Woo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.